What is up, people? Welcome back to another video on this YouTube channel. As usual, in today's video I'm going to be doing my live legends hits. These are my EOS hits, and I'm currently using this Root Rider army right here with the Rage Gem and the Healing Tome on the Warden. And I've got a very exciting video for you guys tomorrow, which is going to break down how I did for EOS, also how much I got paid for a stadio and things like that. But without further ado, let's get right into these hits. So the first base that we find is this guy called Beshu. It is a double poison ring base with the hook tower in the core. So I go for my usual entry into this side compartment here. And as you can see, I don't know if I was, but I'm pretty sure it's a full bait here. He got me pretty good. So I decided to go for my usual redirect to get the RC slightly into the base. That doesn't work. She turns back to the other Tesla. And that's not very good for me, so I decided to recall once I hit that Nado. I would have taken a lot more damage from the Ricochet Cannon, and I would have lost the Fox quite early. But it's fine, we didn't quite set the funnel, but the job's already pretty much done for us. You can see there's a big gap between the Fire Spitzer and the Scatter Shot anyways, which simply means we can just use the Overgrowth to path the Root Riders into the core, no problem. Of course, it's not an ideal first Overgrowth. I would have liked to maybe get some of the more back-end defenses. And I don't know why, but I went with the the Warden ability right there, maybe to keep my Fox alive. My RC was going absolutely crazy here. I pop her ability when she gets into that pocket, because I thought she would be able to turn in, grab the Mono and the Hook Tower. I did a pretty bad Skelly spell there onto two, what are they called, Multi-Infernos, so I don't know what I was thinking there, but I go for the Overgrowth on the back end, and we're looking pretty good right now. We have the two Invis spells, we have the King and the Queen ability. Whilst the Overgrowth is active, I go with these Super Barbs there, because they're not going to die as easily as if, you know, there were two Ricochet Cannons. The Minion Prince is being quite a pain. We lose the Fox there on the RC, but everything's looking really good. We have the two Invis spells, so we're just going to try and keep the RC and the Warden and everyone like that healthy. Pop the King ability when the Overgrowth wears off, and as you can see, this base is pretty crushed, considering I did get full baited on the RC entry. So yeah, attack number one, this is a 3-star. Let's get into the next attack. Here is the next base then. We have this slightly weird looking double poison base. Now I was looking for a Spirit Walk here, and I ended up thinking I could maybe get the Hook Tower down with the RC using a redirect. Now the Hook Tower is really poorly placed. I'm not sure why there's even a Hook Tower there. Personally, I probably would have gone with the Mortar there, would have done a lot better job than the Hook Tower is going to do for this defender here. But it's also why I love EOS, because there are so many weird, unique bases. As you can see, he's running the Super Dragon as a defensive CC, which you don't see a lot. In fact, I don't even think I've seen it one time for the entire rest of the season, apart from EOS, where we did, spoiler alert, we found a Super Dragon CC twice. So I did not get the Expo down, which was a bit stupid, but we decided to just go into that compartment anyways. I wait a moment for the Poison Tower effect to go away, and we start the Ice Golem and the Root Riders up. Now, one thing you don't want to do is try and lure the Super Dragon CC to the outside of the base and deal with it outside of the base. Sometimes, you know, if you lure it with archers, it's going to turn, it's going to be slightly delayed, and then it could, you know, get on your healers or your Warden or something. You don't want that to happen. But luckily we were able to get through it really easily there. We hit the Ice Golem, and we go for a slightly weird Overgrowth. I was a bit worried about that Mono doing loads of damage, so I decided to include the Mono, which maybe was a bit of a mistake. It looks a bit like a weird Overgrowth, right? But it worked out in the end, I suppose. Anyways, we're going in with the rest of the army here, and we're looking good so far. We pop the RC ability in the pocket there. I want her to turn in and grab the Mono and the Town Hall. We do have to invest the free spell there, because the Mono was right on my Warden and the Town Hall was also hitting my Warden. So I want to keep him alive, especially because he's giving the Healing Tome right now. And I go with the Warden ability as we enter into the other Poison Tower. So we're looking really good right here. RC is still playing ball with us, and she's not running away like a crazy lady. Although the Queen is doing God knows what. She's stuck on a wall or something. I don't even know how she managed to get stuck on that wall. As you can see, she could have just walked right past it. Now she's deciding to go get the CC building instead of helping the whole rest of the army. But yeah, this is a 3-star. Got a little bit closer than I would like it to, but I mean, the Queen was just not doing anything remotely useful. But yeah, it is a 3-star. Let's get into the next attack. The next base then is the infamous Poison. What am I even talking about? This is an Invis rage base. As you can see, it's this really common Invis rage base, which I've seen a million times now. This used to give me some troubles. I did have a 1-star this season from this base, but I have found a really good approach. So I'm basically trying to get this fire spitter down here. As you can see, I'm going to use the Invis spell to redirect there. Now I do want to save one Invis spell so that she can so that I can trigger the Invis tower, before overgrowthing it. So I don't have to worry about any effect from the Invis tower during this attack. It's basically an Invis spell for an Invis tower, and that's always going to be a good trade. So I like to use the hook tower when they have it available to me. So I place down the ice golem in hopes that the hook tower will hook the ice golem in and freeze literally everything. And as you can see, there you go, beautiful freeze. Another guy running the super dragon, which is obviously very weird, but I think it makes more sense in this base because you have the rage towers, and if you can catch out one of the attackers with a super dragon in the rage tower, that is a scary combo. A raged up super dragon, you do not want to deal with that. So I can understand why he would run the super dragon, but I think he didn't even have an ice golem in there. I don't know why he just had the super dragon and no other CC troops. Seems like a bit of a waste there. But we're looking really strong right now. Of course, we have all 4 hero abilities. We're well over about 50% of the base left, and yeah, we pop the pop the Warden ability and the RC ability, freeze up the Town Hall, the Moon Prince, the Inferno there. Really good value, and yeah, we're looking really strong right now. I'm ready on my King ability. Don't know if you guys noticed, but I did swag all of my super barbs right at the start of the attack. I meant to place down my Root Riders, but I had these super barbs selected, so yeah, a bit of a stupid mistake. Anyways, the Rage Tower triggers, we pop the Queen ability so the Giant and the Queen clones can go back in and grab that tower for me. But yeah, this is a 3-star. Let's get into the next attack. Alright then, next base we have this really old General X build with this massive rage tower in the middle. He has a hole in the base, which I don't know what is going on there. Probably a bait or something, so I'm not going to go anywhere near that hole. This is what it's like on EOS. You know, you have all of these weird bases where basically people are just trying to fully bait you so you fail. Most of them are quite unique. I don't know, I haven't seen a single one of these bases that have attacks yet beforehand. So yeah, we go for this Spirit Walk into these expos, just to try and get the path into the Town Hall nice and early. We're going to use the overgrowth spells to slow down the rage tower. So we're going to make sure the rage tower can't attack us at full force. So you want to approach this rage tower in sections, and we can do that using the overgrowth spells. So I'm going to show you guys what I mean in a moment here. I think we do one more Invis spell. We try to get this ricochet cannon down. Yep, looking really good. And now I'm looking, just making sure I'm ready to go with the king and the queen to funnel. I'm going to go with the archer on that elixir collector there in order to start the cleanup process over there very slowly. Bit of a weird ice golem. There's not really any good ice golem value here, so I just kind of put it there, whatever. Queen setting a good funnel, another weird ice golem. Again, not really a good spot to put it, but it's what it is. We start the king, the witches on the outside of the base, and we're going to use the first overgrowth right now. Triple furnace in the CC, which is fine. It can be quite scary, obviously, if they get raged up or something like that, but we don't have to worry about that because we have the poison spell, of course, to deal with the furnace. Anyways, so we're moving into the Town Hall section of the base, and the first overgrowth is about to wear off in just a moment. I think I forgot to put a headhunter there on that king, but the ice golem does a really good job at freezing literally everything. We skelly spell the mono area, overgrowth part of this rage tower, and I'm telling you, this crusher mortar is so insanely good. I think it almost sniped my wall in there. Luckily we managed to hold on. Still have the 4 super barbs, so we start up some cleanup on the bottom side of the base there. And yeah, if you guys didn't know, this is a 3-star. Let's get into the next hit. Okay, base number 5, maybe. We've seen this base many times before. Finally, a common base that we've seen. We know what to do for this one. I have changed my entry from going into that mono, which I think is quite heavily baited with the Teslas, to entering into this top corner here. And I do quite a cool trick where, anyways, well, you'll see it in a minute. You'd only know you could even do this once you've attacked the space many times, and I've seen this space so many times, I have figured out that you can do this. So effectively what I'm doing is that the RC kind of goes into this little pocket right there. Instead of targeting the scatter shot, for some reason he targets the air sweeper. So I actually use the RC ability here to try and get the town hall down. It does actually work out just about. I almost messed it up a little bit. I'm not sure. I don't really have like a proper way of doing it. I just kind of, anyways. You would have seen that before if you watched my video. I think maybe yesterday I had the same base and I did the same thing. If you notice there, I did accidentally place down a witch instead of a headhunter. So, not that big of a deal. We still have one witch to support the king. Or you go with the ice golem. Decide to overgrowth the cannon because that thing is so insanely good. Like, I'm telling you guys, if you're still using the hook tower bases, flame spinner bases, switch away from them right now. The mortar is by far the best. It is so strong. If it catches you at the wrong moment, it can literally kill every single thing, especially because it can snipe your warden, your apprentice warden, from behind your root riders. Now here, I tried to send in a few super barbs to take out the mortar because of course we kind of, it's a bit awkward, we're a bit far past it and it's sniping my stuff, bouncing my warden. It does that insane splash damage, but we do get through it. Looking really good now. I think maybe I use the king ability in just a moment here to try and force everything into that rage tower. Let's see, do I use it in a second? Yeah, right there. So I use the king ability, force everyone back into the space, and yeah, this rage tower looks scary, but there's just way too much stuff alive. You do not have time. These ricochet cannons do not have time to kill my stuff. So yeah, it's another 3-star. Let's get into the next attack. So here we go, next base we have this double rage base with the fire spitters facing to the town hall. This base is really annoying, but I'm going to go for my classic entry into the rage tower because probably all of the traps are by the monolith. I need 2 bomb towers there because, people are going to be like, oh, I can enter with the RC behind these 2 spitters. I may as well, right? No, it's fully baited, and I expect that's where all of his baits were. But yeah, this base is really strong. Just quickly before we go back into a bit of commentary, I am doing a voiceover for this video, of course, which does mean that these videos take twice as long for me to make. But if you guys really do prefer the voiceovers as opposed to the live hits, or sorry, live commentary, I may stick with the voiceovers. But just let me know in the comments if you're still watching here. Thank you very much, of course. Anyways, we get really good value with this RC charge, but it doesn't even matter. This base is so incredibly strong that I'm still going to struggle to take it down, as we're going to see in this replay here. So I'm going to start up the queen off to the side there, and we're going to go with the root riders, the warden, the RC, everything into the base. We're going to go with our first overgrowth on the spitter, as opposed to the slightly higher up overgrowth I would normally do, covering the ricochet cannon and the merge cannon in this example. I'm going to start the king up, witches in, out of range of the town hall, because sometimes the town hall can splash on the witches and they will die, which you don't want happening, of course. But yeah, we are looking pretty good, to be fair. But I mean, this base, you think you're doing well, but you're just not. So I lost the fox on the RC, which is a bit of a shame. And I go with the overgrowth like that, and man, I'm telling you, look at that merge. No, crusher mortar. If you just watch, like, it almost sniped my apprentice warden there, which is insane. Anyways, we have the healing tome. My king is really lagging behind all of these root riders. He's getting caught up on skellies or God knows what. I mean, there's not even a lot of trash buildings. So we use the 2 archers where I'm not going to get the archers sniped. They're going to start the cleanup process. My RC is just unfortunately in a bad spot. I'm not going to try and save her because she is going to be quite difficult to save. So yeah, we do lose the RC there. We have the super barbs to finish off this base, and it gets close here. It does get close, but this is a 3-star, so we're still perfect for EOS. Let's get into the next attack. The final base of the day, then we have another original base. I haven't seen a style like this before. It looks very weird and it's not exactly scary. The hook tower does absolutely nothing, as I've said before. Do not use the hook tower. The hook tower is completely trash. The mortar is so strong. Anyways, going to spirit walk into this spitter. I kind of thought that because the Gigabomb was here, that probably this side of the base wouldn't be too heavily baited. But we'll see what happens in a moment, won't we? We go into the Ricochet Cannon, we get the Expo down, we're completely clean in terms of baits right now. And we are going to hopefully be able to get the Spitter and the Poison Tower down. That was what I was aiming for here. I'm going to use a weird Invis. I'm basically double cycling, but I'm also trying to make sure that the RC goes to the Poison Tower rather than the Tesla. And there we go, we're going to recall. We managed to get the trigger on the Gigabomb as well, so we're looking really strong. We start the Queen up, of course, to get the funnel going. Bit of an awkward entry because that scat is really far away from this outer ring of defenses. But yeah, as long as the funnel is working fine, we're fine. So that's why I started the King up nice and early. Of course, we have the Witches which do the splash damage on the Skellies, which is quite nice. And yeah, we poison the CC. We're dealing with these Ice Golems kind of away from a lot of damage, which kind of helps, you know. We're not going to be taking on these Ice Golems, say, where all of that, you know, the Expo, the Merge Cannon, the Hook Tower is. We're taking them on where we're just getting hit by the Monolith and it's not doing a whole lot of damage. So the Town Hall is just about to wake up. We overgrowth the Hook Tower again. I don't even think it's got one hook yet, which just shows just how bad this the Hook Tower really is. But you go with the Warden ability, heal up, you know, the Fox and everything. I was a bit worried about my RC there. I don't know why she was getting absolutely destroyed. I think she maybe had the Expo and the Fire Spitter on her, but we just pop her ability to make sure that she's alright. Unfortunately, the King does lose his support from the Queen and the Witches, so his ability does go down. And there, as you can see, the Hook Tower literally did nothing. I was able to use the Overgrowth spells so well that the Hook Tower did absolutely nothing. It is just such a bad defense. I'm telling you now, it's very luck-based. And if you don't want your defenses to be 100% luck-based, then you need to be running the Mortar as opposed to the Hook Tower. Anyways, this is a 3-star. We did get perfect on EOS, so let's just quickly get into the recap for today's hits right about now. So there we go. All of our hits are done for today. We were able to go perfect for the last 2 days before EOS. At the time this video is posted, it will be the day after EOS, so you guys will have your ranks. Just know that my video tomorrow is going to be recapping my July season, how much you got paid on the stay deal and things like that. But spoiler alert, we did absolutely horribly in this Legend season, which is a bit of a shame because I was really high up earlier in the season. We seem to have just dropped loads of ranks, but I'm not too angry. We were able to build up our channel this month, which is just insane. Thank you so much for all the continued support on the videos. But anyways, that is enough for me for today. Make sure you tune into tomorrow's video. I think it's going to be a good one, but I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.